Hello and welcome to From Devetta's Kitchen to Yours via Tada Internet Cooking Network. Today I would like to introduce two of my very good friends to you. Jennifer Hanford, she is my marketing director for Tada Internet Cooking Network, and my best friend Betty Fields. She was so nice enough to come over here and help us cook. We're going to be cooking off about 3 items. Miss Jennifer is going to do the hummus, which I'm going to help her with. Betty is going to do the bread station. There's some little twists and turns with some bread that I'd like for you to see. Betty, I want you to cut the bread for me on the bias like this right here. Just like that. And for the tortilla shells, now you can go anywhere and get use some tortilla shells, that is if you don't want to make them yourself. And the only thing I want you to do for the tortilla shells, because this is going to go really good with the hummus, just cut it like that for me. And we'll flip it. And like that right there. You go ahead and put them in here. And put a little butter on the bread. And just stick them in the oven after you spray the pan. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, along with the tahini, I've got parsley that I freshly cut, and I also have green onions. You have your salt and pepper. I've got a little water and olive oil. And the only thing that we need to do now is just bind it together. Jennifer, if I could get you to put a little tahini in there, please. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's do that. There we go. We can do that. And then just a little parsley and salt and pepper. We'll use the onions for decoration once it's finished with. And there you go. Okay. Well, that's great. Okay. Now the next thing I want you to do is to put the oil in. And that's also going to bind everything together. Just a little more. Okay, that's great. And I'm going to put just a little water in here. Now the only thing we need to do now is blend it up, and you will see what it looks like. Okay, it looks like it's ready. So we're going to take a quick look at it and give a quick taste. Actually, let me put the top back on. Oh, take a look at that. Jennifer, you did a wonderful job. My goodness. Now, if I could get you to go ahead and put this in the bowl for me and just sprinkle some peppers and some more parsley over it. Let me get this out of the way.
Wow, this looks great, Devetta.
Oh, I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, don't forget you got to try it out. Betty, where is she? Come here. Oh yeah. Now you know how to make hummus with any type of bean you want. And see, you have that little sprinkle of the parsley in there too, just to give it just a little bit of color. Not too much, but just a hint of it. All right.
Okay. Is it supposed to be this thick?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And with the pita chips that Betty cut, it's going to be perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Parsley.
Yeah, go ahead and try it out and tell me what you guys think, okay?
I'm ready to eat now. Can we have some chips?
Oh, yes, we can, just as soon as everything else, we're almost through.
That is very good.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, next I'll be moving on. I'm going to show you guys how to do a wild mushroom bruschetta. And also, we're going to sear off some steaks. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my wild mushroom bruschetta, and also I'm going to sear off some steaks so you can see just what I'm going to do with those steaks. Now, when I'm getting ready to cook something, regardless to what it is, if I'm frying, I always like to use butter mixed with oil. And I like that butter to be brown butter because look at how this is brown already. And this is due to me having my pan already on. Now once I put the oil in it, all of those flavors are really going to mesh really well here with the fat of the butter and the oil. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the steaks. And the only thing you're gonna need right now is just a little salt and pepper because you want the true flavors of it to stay within the meat. Now, I'm gonna sear it down. And since the meat isn't that large or that thick, it's not going to take it long to sear off. Now I'm going to go ahead and salt the other side and a little pepper. Just kind of let it do its thing. Now the next thing is for the wild mushroom bruschetta. I have three types of mushrooms in here. You've got baby portobellos, I've got button, and I have shiitake mushrooms. And the only thing you need to do is just put them in here and let them cook down. Now for the wild mushroom bruschetta, there are about 3 more components that we're going to use. I've got some jalapeno peppers that I'm going to dice up right quick. Wow, didn't want to stay. And then I'm going to add a few banana peppers to it. And we're just going to put it in with the mushrooms and let it sear off. Okay, that's okay. Let's put these in here. This is just to give it a little heat and a little more flavor. Now I think it's time to turn the steak. Oh, look at that sear. That's just the right sear that I want. Look at that. So now that I've seared it on that particular side, it's not going to take longer for it to cook out. And then we'll take them out and let them rest. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the steaks out. And I'm going to let them rest for a few moments. And the reason why you let the meat rest is because you want to seal all the juices in it. Go ahead and turn this on. Now, the only other thing I need to do in reference to the mushrooms, I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan to it. I'm going to mix that up, and then we're going to dress it so you can see what it's going to look like. I just took the steaks out, and I'm cutting it now to take a look at it, and look at that. This is perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it as thin as you possibly can. And now you can see all those juices coming out of it, just like that right there. This is the perfect way to cook a steak. Again, thank you for joining me from Davetta's Kitchen to Yours via Tada Internet Cooking Network. And a special thanks to my 2 good friends, Betty and Jennifer. Now before we start eating, I want to show you something. Whenever you're entertaining and you want to do something quick, fast, and in a hurry because you've got guests coming by on the fly, this right here is just a nice little tray with assorted olives on it and peppers. And this is just crackers with any type of pepperoni that you want to use. And I did some quick fruit kebabs, which is really quick and really simple. And with the help of Jennifer, here's the hummus. And we've got the pita chips that Betty cut. Also, we've got the toasted bruschettas that Betty did as well. I'm going to go ahead and compose too so you'll see what they look like. Now, for the bread part, and some people like to do this, probably spread just a little hummus on here like that. And we're going to put some beef on it. And some mushrooms, just a few, just like that. And I'm going to top it off with some parm, just a little parm like that. Now if you like, you can put a roasted red pepper on here too. So let's try this out and see what it's going to taste like. Oh wow, this is so good. The hummus is a perfect blend with the steak. And the perfect topping is the mushrooms. Again, this is Davetta, and thank you for joining me and my friends from Tada Internet Cooking Network. Bon appetit.
Cheers!
Come on, let's eat.
Yes, let's eat.